Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time, thanks for tuning in. After training, I reached out to a bunch of my colleagues to ask for their tips to thrive in BMOQ. And in this video, I'm going to be referencing some of the advice they gave. Alright, to kick us off, a friend of mine who graduated as a captain says, I think my tip would be to help others and treat people the way you want to be treated. It's easy to get into a selfish mind space, but that mindset won't work during basic. Now, this advice may sound very simple, but you'll be surprised how when you're in a high-pressure environment, the simple things become very difficult to do. Helping others and treating people the way you want to be treated embodies the idea of team spirit. When you're in a team, not everyone has the same capabilities, not everyone has the same capacity to do things. So being able to complement your team's abilities means you can uplift your team. It means you're able to bring your strengths and skills to the table to help your team achieve whatever goal they set out to achieve. This also ties into the Capt values of loyalty, being loyal to your team. It means you're of service to your team, you're able to serve your team. If everyone within a team can embody this spirit, it means not only are you able to achieve the goals you set out to, but it also makes getting there that bit easier, because you know when you're down, there's someone who's going to be looking out for you, there's someone who's got your back, but as well yourself, when someone else on the team is down, you're able to look after them, you're able to have their back. And I think that's what this advice embodies. This next advice is from a friend who actually served in the US Army before they joined the Canadian Army, so you know they definitely know what they're talking about. Interestingly enough, this advice runs along the same theme as the previous advice. My friend says, I would say the one tip I would give to someone to survive BMOQ is teamwork. It's extremely hard to pass BMOQ as a solo act. However, if everyone takes a little bite of the pie and collectively help each other, you will be successful. One of the purposes of BASIC is to coach a civilian into the military lifestyle. And a big part of the military lifestyle is teamwork. Hardly ever, as a member of the armed forces, would you be executing a task solo as an individual, and that's where it becomes really important. It's super emphasized in BASIC to work as teams to execute tasks. And as both of my friends have said, if everyone's able to pull together regardless of their differences or whatever, then it makes your work easier. It makes it a better experience to go through BMOQ. Now, this tip is a little different in that it talks on some of the more technical parts of BMOQ. Here my friend says the tip would be to follow the pre-basic military training regime on the CFMWS website, and I believe that stands for the Canadian Forces Morale and Welfare Services. Now I'm gonna scroll through a bit of the website just to show you what it looks like. And one of the reasons my friend says to do this is so you can reduce some of the overall stress of the course. And I think they're talking about the physical stress in this case. But there could also be a mental aspect to it, but I think it's mostly physical. Another thing they say is it will also greatly help in reducing the risk of injury, so you don't get put on TRP and recourse. TRP and recourse is something I will probably discuss in a later video. But for now, I think the purpose of this is to highlight the importance of going into BMOQ fit. One of the things they say is you don't want BMOQ to be the place where you start to get fit. You want to get in there fit. One of the reasons is to prevent stress on your body, but also so when you're in there, you're not playing catch up. So you can do the tasks that you're required to do in order to be successful. If you're not well prepared and you jump straight into the physical activities that you're required to do in BMOQ, this can cause injuries and can delay or detour your track to graduation, to being successful in BMOQ. So one of the things to thrive in BMOQ is to make sure you're preparing your body physically, but also preparing your mind. One of the ways I did this personally was watching a lot of videos to see what it was like. There's also a lot of information on the website on what kind of physical demands will be required of one in BMOQ. There's also physical, there's PT, physical exercise that you do in BMOQ, but you want to start outside before you get in, so your body can handle whatever is thrown at you in BMOQ, and then all you need to worry about is the mental. So this tip I'm actually going to read all through because I think all the information in it is important, and then I'll give my 2 cents on it. Now my friend here says it's hard to say just one tip, but keep your head high and always answer yes, no, followed by rank. It's a game, and if you do this one thing, you'll get through without too many loss of lives. Now I think loss of lives in this case just means like when you're playing a game and you lose your heart or you lose a bar or something like that. It doesn't mean that this isn't physical loss of lives, like not literal loss of lives, just to clarify. It continues on to say, lean on your platoon mates, teamwork coming up again, and become one unit as soon as possible because it will make the entire journey easier and more enjoyable. Make sure you check on each other and one another. I added that last bit. I'm going to start with the first part of this. It says to always answer yes and no followed by the rank and keep your head high. Now, one of the things you learn pretty quickly as someone in BMOQ is that you're an officer, you're training to be an officer, and people will be looking up to you. And for that reason, you want to make sure that you embody confidence. Try to find the confidence in your teammates, in yourself, around you every day. Some days it's going to be hard, but most of the time, do your best to embody confidence. Although you will be taught, it will probably do you some good to learn the ranks before going into BMOQ. You're mostly going to be dealing with NCM ranks. The first 4 or 5 ranks you will be dealing with most of the time. So it might do you some good to learn them and practice them. Because in the military, it's best practice to address people by their ranks, especially when they're higher ranked than you. And when you're in BMOQ, everyone's higher ranked than you. So learn the ranks, and whenever you're being referred to, whenever you're being spoken to by anyone, you address them by the answer followed by their rank. So yes, Master Corporal, no Master Corporal, I did that, Sergeant, no that wasn't me, Sergeant. So you get used to what you may encounter in BMOQ, because sometimes to civilians this is a culture shock. And as my friend says here, it's a game. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. It's a game, and kind of like games, if you follow the rules, you lose less hearts. The more rules and the more failures you have, the more likely it is that you're kicked out of the game. The second part of this says to lean on your platoon mates and become one unit as soon as possible. And it follows along the theme of the first 2 pieces of advice. One of the things that I learned that I think people can benefit from is to get used to being able to work despite differences. You might not get along with everyone on your platoon. It's great if you do. In fact, that's the ideal situation. But we're all people, and sometimes you won't get along with people. But that cannot affect your ability to work with them. Because if it does, it means you're putting your team in jeopardy. And you don't want to be the person that puts the team in jeopardy. So find a way to work with people despite your differences. And check on people. You're going to be in this together. BMOQ is currently 12 weeks. You're going to be ideally you're going to be on a program with however many people for 12 weeks. You're going to be going through the same things. You're going to be going through the same successes, the same failures, and you want to be able to help each other through that. Check on people. You're probably going to be broken up into sections. Fire teams, check on your fire team, check on your section, check on the platoon. And this is how you're able to thrive in BMOQ. So this last bit of advice is from myself. and it's regarding the learning pace of things in BMOQ. In BMOQ, you learn a lot of new skills. To most people, you're learning how to apply things differently as you would not have in civilian life. So a lot of information might be coming at you. This is something to prepare yourself for. It's something everyone experiences, and you might not get it on the first couple tries, but don't let that dissuade you. Myself and a lot of other people have tripped or even failed on the first attempt at certain things, certain quizzes, certain tests, certain assessments, and that might be the case for you. Don't let it dissuade you. You do get the opportunity to redo tests. It's a limited opportunity, it's limited amount of times, but you get the opportunity to, and you get the chance to improve on those skills. So take advantage of that, but always do your best, always apply yourself. And if you have any questions, you can always find that one person on your platoon or that one instructor that can explain things to you properly and can guide you through things properly. So do not be discouraged. And that's pretty much the end of the video. If you found any of the information helpful, don't forget to like or subscribe. One thing I realized while making this video is, although this applies to BMOQ and the military, most of this advice also applies to life generally. So I hope even if you're not watching this video for the military, or somehow the military doesn't work out for you, you can also apply this information to your life and this advice to your life, and it benefits you. And that marks the end of the video. I wish you the best in your journey forward, and if you're pursuing a career with the Canadian Armed Forces, I wish you the best day. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments.